Are you able to summon your talent at will? So when you have to write or produce or direct, are you able to just call it up?
I think so, and I think I can summon it at will when I'm up against or past a deadline.
Yeah. Thank you for admitting we all run past deadlines every now and then. At least finally I got someone on the show who admits that we miss
I,
deadlines sometimes.
I mean, it's really after a deadline that I will summon everything. And I think actually, weirdly, when I'm up against something is when I get some of the best spurts.
You're a
It's
pressure
either
cooker.
a pressure cooker for sure, or in the shower. I know that's trite, but it's true. And when I go for long walks or I go for runs.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really cool. There was a website, I don't know if it still exists anymore, but it was called Structured Procrastination. And this professor wrote a whole thing about how like whatever is like deadlines don't become important until they're passed. That was one of his principles. And it's so great to be a professor. And secondly, his whole thing was like there's something I don't want to do, but then what I wait for is something I want to do even less. And then I do the thing I don't want to do. Then I come to that. He's like, so it's structured. It just cascades all the way down. I'm like, what an approach to life. I am sure you get requested to do things all the time. We have limited resources. How do you say no to people?
Um,
And that could be in the
well,
context of
well,
projects that come across your desk that you said, you know what, this isn't a fit or whatever, or in your personal life. Sorry, I should have extended the question a little more, however you'd like to interpret it.
I mean, I think it depends on also what people are asking for.
Hmm.
And if it's work related, then what I'm starting to get better at acknowledging, even for myself, is my capacity because I can get very excited about the possibility of something, but not then I have to actually weigh in, you know, what experience does the person have who's asking me for the thing, and where am I going to fill in the gaps? Um, and have we all done this before? Are we growing? Are we just problem solving? Is that what this project is? Like, I'm being brought into, to put out fires. Am I building with? Am I adding to?
Hmm.
Is this, and I think that's a big part of like, you know, decisions I'm going to be making. But also, what else do I have going on currently that this addition can take away from? Because you can't add something without knowing where something's got to give. And and I think that projects can, move and suddenly you'll have everything happening at once, or there'll be quiet periods. And so I think always kind of buffering a cushion of just space just for yourself is necessary. So I think I definitely am kind of trying to be better at evaluating. And there have been times I've said yes, and then I've learned pretty early that possibly this is not something that makes the most sense now that we've been able to like have some, chance to work on things together. And I think I can still say no then or
Right.
make an adjustment then, because if I feel like we're going to get caught up in something else that actually is not even about the work itself or about the project itself and it's interpersonal, that's wasted time for everybody.
Hmm.
And so I think that, with the creative space, you have like so many personalities coming together, and some will be better at working together and not. And depending on where everybody's at, everyone's always at a different place when they're meeting to make something together, you know, whether it's like financial, emotional, health wise.
Hmm.
And so I think you have to, ask yourself, I mean, a big gauge for me is, am I going to be growing in a direction that I need to be in this point for myself? What am I learning? I'd rather work with people who know way more than me, because then I know where I get to evolve and be. I don't look at it from a place of like feeling intimidated or wanting to control anything. I'd rather not control anything at all. So I think my attitude is like to always be a student. Um, and so I think, a friend of mine gave me advice saying you start to move into a place of power when you actually say no more than yes.
Yeah, that's a great That's a great way to put it. And, Mark Twain once wrote or said, I wasn't there, it's easier to stay out than get out. So to your point about like sometimes we have those feelings of like, I think I should say no to this, but for some reason I said yes. Maybe I felt pressured, etc. But I think we have that in our heart of hearts and our soul that's like, oh man, if I should have just listened to my gut on this one because now it's harder to, like when you're already down the pike, sometimes you're like, let me just wrap it up. But you're like, there's no wrapping it up. We're just starting. We have months to go on this thing, and it's easier just to pull out now. If you had to do karaoke, gun to your head, forced to sing, or maybe you like to sing, which song would it be? And is it the same as like you walk into a room and they should play this song? Or talk to me a little bit about those kind of things.
I mean, I am a co-founder of the Resistance Revival Chorus, and I therefore can sing, and I will consider myself a backline alto, unlike some of the real professional singers in the room. But at karaoke, I mean, I enjoy doing karaoke that everybody also gets really riled up to sing with.
I agree.
And the song that I found consistently works is, and this is my karaoke song, is Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis.
I love that song so much. I love that song so much. That and Wonderwall, but Don't Look Back in Anger and maybe Live Forever are my favorite Oasis songs, and I love that song so much. Right, it just gets
Yeah,
everybody like it's all the wallflowers on the floor.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but there's something about like, I mean, I remember going to some, music festival in the South when I worked at Nylon, and we just walked into this bar where like no one even looked at us. We sat at the bar, some like person just singing karaoke in a corner, and I was like, okay, I'll just put this song in and let's see. And next thing you know, like 100 people are strangers are singing along with me and have stopped their conversation, and that's when I knew this was going to be my song. So,
That tells you a lot. Mine is Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. I did
oh,
it
that
for my
that
birthday.
always works
I can
because
get
that
get
that has dance breaks.
Yeah, dance breaks. I can rap. I can't really sing that well. Already Naveen's probably favorite line is "Don't sing, Daddy." It's like, okay, wow, this is already like I'm being dissed by my child, but I can be pretty awful. There are a few songs I can really kind of wail, but rapping I can do, and even some freestyling. But that's cool. I love the Oasis tip. That's a great one. If you didn't do your current job, which profession would you like to attempt, and which profession would you not like to attempt? Although you have not only attempted, but also you've been successful. You've held several different jobs, right?
Oh my gosh, the thing is when you have a visa to be in this country, and it's just after 9/11, it's not like you're really getting the jobs you want. So you take whatever job you can, and you have your day job, you have your other job, you have your like, you try so many different things. And I think when I was in college, I mean, I moved to the States really thinking I was going to work in finance. And so for me, it became this process of elimination, really, But at this point, if I was going to have, moonlight in a new career, maybe I, I want to torture myself, but I think a civil rights lawyer. I mean, I remember, feeling a sense of hopelessness in our industry at one point. I mean, this is some years ago, and I actually ordered law school books. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do a pivot. But then, right at that moment, one of my shows was moving forward, only to eventually not move forward again. But suddenly, like so many other things were happening that I was like,
Right.
okay, I put the law school books away. But I
You didn't
think
try
I
to
would
return them. You didn't try to get like the Daisy discount, like return them.
no, I was like, these Kaplan books are going to sit in my shelf for a while. But I think that would be really interesting for me. I mean, I would, or, honestly, I would love to be a furniture designer. I'd love to build some tables, use my hands to do something.
Wow, very
Um,
cool. Well, in that part of the world too, like Scandinavia, right? They have some of the best
yeah,
furniture, so that
yeah.
seems to resonate.
And then what I would be bad at, I would be a terrible bartender.
Interesting, because you
Yeah.
don't drink, or because you don't cook, or like,
No, no, I definitely drink, but I think I would just probably give out too many free drinks.
yeah, it's probably me.
And
Yeah, that's true.
I was a barista in college, and I definitely gave out a lot of free mochas. I made a very good mocha my freshman year, and at one point I worked as at a sushi restaurant on campus because I wanted to eat sushi a lot. So I thought, let me just work at the restaurant. And I definitely gave free shit to people all the time. But I think free drinks at a bar become very dangerous.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Wide variety of reasons, especially if we take some of them down ourselves if we're bartending. So
Yeah.
that would be a recipe for disaster. Plus the karaoke. I mean, so then, if free drinks at a karaoke bar would get everybody to sing. So I don't know. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
the KJ would
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
it.